I just uploaded a video called Dear Panasonic about how I want Panasonic to release a better autofocus system in their cameras. On YouTube, a lot of y'all commented, almost everything was in agreement, everything was cool. But then I posted the video to a couple Facebook groups. Apparently, some people are very emotional about people who use autofocus on their cameras. What am I talking about, Ben, you ask? Let's get into it. Micro Four Thirds is crappy autofocus, nothing to do with Panasonic. And who the F uses autofocus for video or photography? Really? Be careful. People who never went to film school learned from Peter Mckinnon YouTube videos and think autofocus is the only way. We'll have a cry about your comment. Let's talk about this comment just for a little bit here, shall we? Who the F uses autofocus for video or photography like millions of people do? Look at all of the famous YouTubers pretty much. It seems like there's this kind of like smug attitude about using autofocus from certain people that don't think it's what real photographers do or what professionals do. And honestly, I think all of that is BS. It doesn't mean that you're any less or more of a photographer if you use manual focus versus autofocus. You're simply just focusing your camera. To me, it's that simple. It's just a part of a camera that helps us get from point A to point B a little easier and faster. Autofocus doesn't define a camera aimed at professionals. Panasonic may have been aiming one of their cameras at a professional, but look, I caught it. Am I a professional? I don't know. I think that word's overused and condescending sometimes. What's more important to me is to capture my story and present it in a really beautiful manner. Sometimes it's just really hard to get from an area where you're not very motivated to that place where you just start making stuff. And in my opinion, things like autofocus and all the other features that are built into cameras, all they're doing is helping us get to that place easier to make the whole experience of creating stuff more enjoyable. That's what I think it's about. What the cameras actually record are our memories and our thoughts and our personalities and our story. There's something amazing about just setting a camera down and just letting it do its thing while you perform for it and you do your thing. You trust in the camera's ability to help you create whatever story you want to create. And sometimes there are moments where we don't have time to manually focus or tinker with settings. Like if you see an amazing moment, sometimes you just gotta whip the camera out and start recording. And autofocus just makes that so much easier and faster. So I am 100% down with autofocus. I don't really understand where people are coming from. I'm trying to. When they think that autofocus is like this bad thing, or real photographers don't need, like what? What is a real photographer? We're all real photographers. If we have a camera and we take a photo or a video of something, we're photographers, we're YouTubers, like we're creators. Another comment said, are people using autofocus as crutches again? I don't think people who wheelchair themselves on autofocus can really appreciate a good focus pull. Wheelchairing ourselves into a situation? Using it's autofocus. It seems like some people are just like threatened by this. I don't understand that. It's a camera that is focusing for us so that we can focus on the image itself. I'm not trying to knock people that use manual focus. This video is being shot using manual focus. I didn't say in my last video that I only use autofocus all of the time and I need it as my crutch and my wheelchair. No, what? I was raised to believe that you just do your job. If some people aren't doing it the way that you do it, let them be. Let them live their life. Let them use manual focus. Let them use autofocus. Let them use a coat hanger with a rubber band that they screw it in like they're building a freaking IKEA chair just to focus. I don't care. If what they're doing is getting the job done for them, then more power to them. And if you're watching out there and you've witnessed this kind of negative judgment about people that aren't professional for using certain techniques or skills, let them have their judgment. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but that does not mean that you have to live by them or change who you are or change your process just to make them happy. Because in the end, that's kind of their problem. That's not really ours. I really appreciate everybody's positivity. I hate to report the negativity, but I also feel like it's kind of important to talk about these things. So keep creating, keep being positive, keep being amazing. Anyway, I think this rant has come to a close. I think you're all beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have any thoughts on my previous video, Dear Panasonic, and how people reacted to it, let me know in the comments. I'll leave a link below to that video as well if you want to check it out. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, notification bell, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. couple people even tried to call me out on the shirt I was wearing in that video that said creating is greater than complaining. They were saying I was complaining about autofocus. Yeah, I was complaining a little bit, but then I created something, so that dispels that myth.